Oh, wow. Good morning. Good morning. I know I sound a little rough. You'd think that my voice would be used to all of this reading, right? All the talking that I do. I feel like that's better since I had a little drink. Um, Good morning. This is your girl, Pastor. Let me say it right, right? This is your girl, Pastor Courage Molina of Bold Faith Community Church. This is day 54 of our daily Bible reading. We're here Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. reading the Chronological Bible reading plan. And today we will be reading Numbers 1 through 2, chapters 1 through 2. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm so glad that you are here, and be sure to like this video if you like these videos. Be sure to subscribe and hit that little bell so that you know all the things. And of course, I want to remind you about the Faith Ignited retreat. We have 15 spots left. We want to get 30 women in the room. We have 15 spots left, and the doors will be open to get your spot until May 7th, which is a Sunday. So you have some time, but don't wait until the end. Go ahead. You can get a payment plan. You can pay in full. It is going to be an amazing time in the Lord. It's going to be a great time of fellowship. I wonder what it would look like if you're going to the retreat, if you invited one new person. They don't have to come, but what if you invited one new person? I invited 3 or 4 people, and one new person is coming. It's my mama. That's who coming. It's my mama. I invited her and 2 other people, and my mom has purchased her ticket. And so now I'm prayerfully considering, because I'm gonna be there. Y'all know I'm gonna be there. Prayerfully considering who I might invite to also come and experience just the presence of God in this place, and be able to get poured into, do some reflecting, some cleaning out, and to have some fun too. So I'd love to see y'all there. The dates are July 14th through the 17th. Go ahead and reserve your spot. I don't know. I think that you can reserve your spot with a deposit, and then you can make monthly payments from now until May 7th. The final payment's going to be due by May 7th. So don't wait. I told y'all I was going to talk about it every single time I came on this here YouTube, right? All right, let's get into it. Got some technical issues. Let me move my camera off. It's my laptop. Let me move my laptop. It looks like it's strange. Okay, it's fine. Numbers chapter 1. This is the registration of Israel's troops. A year after Israel's departure from Egypt, the Lord spoke to Moses in the tabernacle in the wilderness of Sinai. On the first day of the second month of that year, he said, "From the whole community of Israel, record the names of all the warriors by their clans and families. List all the men 20 years old or older who are able to go to war. You and Aaron must register the troops, and you will be assisted by one family leader from each tribe. These are the tribes and the names of the leaders who will assist you. The tribe Reuben, leader Elisur, son of Shador. Tribe Simeon, leader Shilmiel, son of Zershadai. Tribe Judah, Nishan, son of Aminadab. Issachar, Nathanael, son of Zuar. Zebulun, Eliab, son of Elon. Ephraim, son of Joseph. Elishama, son of Amuhud. Manasseh, son of Joseph. Gamiel, son of Pedasor. Benjamin, Abidan, son of Gidoni. Dan, Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. Asher, Pagiel, son of Akron. Gad, Elisaph, son of Duo. Naphtali, Ahir, son of Enan. These are the chosen leaders of the community, the leaders of their ancestral tribes, and the heads of the clans of Israel. So Moses and Aaron called together these chosen leaders, and they assembled the whole community of Israel on that very day. All the people were registered according to their ancestry by their clans and families. The men of Israel who were 20 years old or older were listed one by one, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. So Moses recorded their names in the wilderness of Sinai. This is the number of men 20 years old or older who were able to go to war, as their names were listed in the records of their clans and families. I just like to say this quickly, that the leaders were chosen. Y'all who follow me, y'all who are part of Bold Faith Community Church, y'all have been chosen. I know that because I lead a community of women leaders. That's probably why you're attracted to this channel. It's probably why you're attracted to this community, because that is just the assignment. That's just how it is. You've been called to lead in some area of your life. You've been chosen. God chose you. That's why you get to lead. It's not. Don't worry about your education. Don't worry about your family line. Don't worry about any of that. You are leading because God has chosen you to lead in that family. He's chosen you to lead in that community. He's chosen you to lead in this way. You understand? And for some of you, it's not even like an official title, but you're leading the way for people to come to Christ by showing them Christian living. Do you understand what I'm saying? But you've been chosen as a leader. I don't know who that's for, but somebody needs to hear. All right, let me go back to verse 20 through 21. This is the number of men 20 years old or older who were able to go to war as their names were listed in the records of their clans and families. I don't know if I said this is the New Living Translation. I know that it's often in the description, but I wanted to say it now. It's in the New Living Translation. The tribe Reuben, Jacob's oldest son, 46,500. Simeon, 59,300. Gad, 45,650. Judah, 74,600. Issachar, 54,400. Zebulun, 57,400. Ephraim, son of Joseph, 40,500. Manasseh, son of Joseph, 32,200. Benjamin, 35,400. Dan, 62,700. Asher, 41,500. Naphtali, 53,400. These were the men registered by Moses and Aaron and the 12 leaders of Israel, all listed according to their ancestral descent. They were registered by families. All the men of Israel who were 20 years old or older and able to go to war, the total number was 603,550. These are just the men. This is important because these are the people that came from Egypt, right? And they're out in the wilderness. And it's like sometimes we think that things cannot grow in our environment of oppression, or we feel like there's not going to be any fruit to come to bear. But I'm going to say this: nothing can stop the will and the work of God. Nobody. This is a lot of people, and this is just the men. Mm. Verse 47. But this total did not include the Levites, and it didn't even include the Levites. For the Lord had said to Moses, do not include the tribe of Levi in the registration. Do not count them with the rest of the Israelites. Put the Levites in charge of the tabernacle of the covenant, along with all its furnishings and equipment. They must carry the tabernacle and all its furnishings as you travel, and they must take care of it and camp around it. Whenever it is time for the tabernacle to move, the Levites will take it down, and when it is time to stop, they will set it up again. But any unauthorized person who goes too near the tabernacle must be put to death. Each tribe of Israel will camp in a designated area with its own family banner, but the Levites will camp around the tabernacle of the covenant to protect the community of Israel from the Lord's anger. The Levites are responsible to stand guard around the tabernacle. So the Israelites did everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Chapter 2, the organization for Israel's camp. Then the Lord gave these instructions to Moses and Aaron. When the Israelites set up camp, each tribe will be assigned its own area. The tribal divisions will camp beneath their family banners on all four sides of the tabernacle, but at some distance from it. The divisions of Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun are to camp toward the sunrise on the east side of the tabernacle, beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and the number of their registered troops. Judah, Nashon, son of Aminadab, 74,600. Issachar, Nathanael, son of Zuar, 54,400. Zebulun, Eliab, son of Helon, 57,400. So the total of all the troops on Judah's side of the camp is 186,400. These three tribes are to lead the way whenever the Israelites travel to a new campsite. The divisions of Reuben, Simeon, and Gad are to camp on the south side of the tabernacle beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and the numbers of their registered troops. Reuben, Elisor, son of Shadur, 46,500. Simeon, Shulamel, son of Shurshadai, 59,300. Gad, Eliasaph, son of Duel, 46,000, just kidding, 45,650. So the total of all the troops on Reuben's side of the camp is 151,450. These three tribes will be second in line wherever the Israelites travel. Then the tabernacle carried by the Levites will set out from the middle of the camp. All the tribes are to travel in the same order that they camp, each in position under the appropriate family banner. The divisions of Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin are to camp on the west side of the tabernacle beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and the numbers of their registered troops. Ephraim, Elishama, son of Amuhud, 40,500. Manasseh, Gamiel, son of Padasor, 32,200. Benjamin, Abidan, son of Gideoni, 35,400. So the total of all the troops on Ephraim's side of the camp is 108,100. These three tribes will be third in line whenever the Israelites travel. The divisions of Dan, Asher, and Naphtali are to camp on the north side of the tabernacle beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and the numbers of their registered troops. Dan, Ahisar, son of Ammishaddai, 62,700. Asher, Pagiel, son of Ochran, 41,500. Naphtali, Ahira, son of Enan, 53,400. So the total of all the troops on Dan's side of the camp is 157,600. These three tribes will be last, marching under their banners whenever the Israelites travel. In summary, the troops of Israel listed by their families totaled 603,550. But as the Lord had commanded, the Levites were not included in this registration. So the people of Israel did everything as the Lord had commanded Moses. Each clan and family set up camp and marched under their banners exactly as the Lord has instructed. I love that. Exactly as the Lord has instructed. I wonder what you have done exactly as the Lord has instructed. Anytime I read this section of scripture where it's not like exciting, I don't know what other thing to say. It's not like an event. It's like it's registrants. It's the number of people. It's how they set up the camp, which for me is just not that interesting at the beginning. When I first started reading, I just didn't get how, like, why, friend, like, why are they saying this? And I used to think, why are they telling me this in the Bible? But you know what? They not telling me this in the Bible, and they're not telling you this in the Bible. They are telling Moses, and it ain't they. Moses is writing this, right, by inspiration of the Lord to the children of Israel who have come out of the wilderness, who have come out of Egypt. That's who this is for. People who are going to know those names, they're going to understand their ancestry. And I think ancestry, which we know is important in the sense of understanding that maybe where you think your history started, it didn't start. There are going to be people who are born in the wilderness. There were people who were born in Egypt. I wonder if they believed that the origin of their family line started in slavery. Hmm. Black History Month. Shout out to Black History Month. Um, this idea that our history as a people began in the ghettos and the hoods. This idea that our history as a people began on slave ships in the United States of America, on their way to, this new land or to wherever your people ended up. That's not how we started. That's not the full story of our ancestry. And so I have a special appreciation for it now. I certainly did not when I first started reading the Bible. Like really reading it probably like in 2013. It's probably when I really started reading it. I just did not understand why it's just included. Um, but one of the things that I did even at that time, because I was just desperate to glean any wisdom that I could get, is as I read those pages, I was looking at what it told me about God. It told me that God, it matters to God, details matter. And if these details mattered enough for him to tell Moses, then the things that I'm doing matter to him also. It tells me that leaders are called to do things as instructed by God, which let me know that God does not leave his leaders or call his leaders to lead and then not provide instruction for them. It showed me that God likes to do things in decency and in order. And so I would think about, okay, where in my life is God calling me to do things in decency and order? Where in my life does there seem to be some confusion that maybe I thought was the right thing for me to do, or I thought was the God thing for me to do, but it really turned out it was just a good idea or a great idea, even. It just wasn't what God had for me. I wonder how many times I questioned who was in leadership and why I wasn't in leadership. And I looked at the people who had the decision to make instead of understanding that good leaders, bad leaders, God chose that leader, or God allowed that leader to take place. It's impossible for us to believe that God is sovereign and then for us to question every single thing that does and doesn't happen in our lives. It always makes me want to get in right standing with God. And I don't mean like, oh, I'm going to get in trouble if I'm not doing things right. But I mean, I want to do them the way He's instructing me to, because He's instructing me to do them this way, because He understands. He's got a bird's eye view of exactly what's going on and what's going to happen and what's going to come up in my life and what's going to come up in somebody else's life. You ever wish you had something and then somebody else got it, and then a few weeks or years later you realize, like, okay, that's why I didn't get that. I'm realizing right now that there are things, opportunities, doors that were closed for me when I was in college that had they been open, I don't know that I would have gotten to. Do you know what I mean? I just love that God is so sovereign that way. And that is something that when I read scriptures like this that aren't telling us about, the life and the fighting and the drama, really, because I like the drama in the Bible. It's not telling me about the drama of who this one did this one and she married this way. It's crazy. It's not telling me about that. I start to think of, what is this telling me about God? One, that He would inspire the author to write it, and two, that He's moving that way, right? That He's setting things up. Am I being like God when it comes to the things that He's given me to do, whether it's the business portion or whether it's the church? Okay, there, right there goes some application. There are still some things that need to be set up that are not quite in order. Are there some things in your life that you started doing, you're supposed to be doing, but you need to get some things set up? You need to go ahead and file for that LLC. You know that you need to go ahead and hire somebody for bookkeeping. You know that you need to get some things in order and organized. Maybe it's your space that you need to get organized. We can see that God had a strategy for what He did, and things were organized and in order. And I want to be as much like God as I possibly can in every of my area of my life. The last thing I want to share with y'all today, and I don't always share this, but I'm sharing this now. I did not feel like reading today. I did not feel like reading today. I am tired. I've had a lot of long days, and I read every day. So taking a day off, like, that's nothing. But the reason I've read, and the reason I'm sharing this with you is that it cannot be about what we want to do all the time and what we feel like doing. When we make a decision and a commitment to do something, unless something is outside of our control. I think it was last week Wednesday, I literally slept until 7:35. Like, I did not wake up. My alarm wasn't on. I literally didn't wake up. I slept. So I gave myself grace. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, kind of thing. But this morning I was up. I was like, man, I'm tired. I did not feel like doing this. I was asking myself, why did I tell these people I was going to be reading the Bible every day? I feel I can miss it. Maybe Wednesdays can be the day that I miss all these things. Not doing that. Why? Because I understand the importance of reading my Bible every single day. I understand the importance of what God has called me to do, not just to read it for myself, but to read it as a pastor on this YouTube for the church and for anybody else who happens to find it. I think that because people show up consistently, we just assume that they love every minute of it, that they want to do it every single time. And that's just not true. But greatness requires consistency. That's also where your confidence comes from. It's also where clarity comes from. Am I doing the right thing? God has given me this strategy. God has given me this assignment, and I'm going to show up for it every day, unless I absolutely just cannot. I'm going to take it seriously. So even though I didn't feel like reading today, I'm so tired. Here I am. And I'm glad that you're here. And every time you think about quitting, I want you to think about that. No, I decided I was going to do this, work out, read my Bible, stay on my budget, because I'm going somewhere. This is leading me to something. And I want to be used by God in a mighty way. That requires me being consistent. So I pray this time in the Word blesses you. And I pray that it encourages you to build a habit of reading your Bible every day. All right. I love y'all. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.